are here in the studio with two fabulous women. Sasha George, who I just met, but she's already one of my favorite people on the face of the earth. And I don't say that about everybody. I'm sorry, I just don't.
Get out of the way.
But she's here with Jess Block-Niren, who was already one of my favorite people on the face of the earth.
Thank you.
And somebody that I count myself really lucky and grateful to know you, because every day you make a difference.
And right back at you, lady.
Well,
oh my goodness.
You know what?
Should I leave?
No. And clearly, Sasha, you make a difference too. Sasha is an author. I've got a pile of her books. I kind of want to be you when I grow up. Like, to have one book out would be amazing,
So
right?
cool.
But she's got a pile of books, both for adults and for children. I was going to say kiddos on the spectrum, but that's not true. It's for all children. And so your website is sashageorge.com. And if you want to find particularly the books for children, go to sashageorge.com/children. Amazing illustrations, just so beautiful. And there's something about them that's so, like you, that are so compelling. So definitely check those out. But Sasha, the most recent thing, is it the most recent thing that you've done?
Yeah.
Okay. Is that she collaborated with Jess's son, Royce. And they wrote this book, Strike One. It was illustrated by Sasha. But the main story of this came from Royce after he had successfully beaten cancer's butt. We're proud of him and you that you got through that and did that. And Royce already had an autism spectrum diagnosis. Correct. When he was diagnosed with cancer. Unthinkable. Unthinkable, but how exciting that Royce is doing so well. We're so grateful that he's so healthy. In fact, he's so healthy that he's Mr. Athlete. We were showing pictures before of Royce in his bike riding uniform, I guess.
Yes,
is it
his
a
bike kit.
His
this
bike
cute
kit.
little spandex outfit.
He's got it all going on because he likes to ride a bike, but he doesn't just ride the bike. He's 10.
He's 10.
And he doesn't just ride his bike around the neighborhood. No. What does Royce do?
So Royce competes in a team that does road cycling. There's members of his team that do track cycling, all kinds of competitive sports on a bike. Included in that is, just this year he got certified to actually ride on the track at the Olympic Training Center in Carson.
Wow.
And
amazing.
He's ridden more than 20 races this year. And it's one of those things, you develop yourself, just like Temple said, you develop yourself early if it's something you want to pursue later. But it's something that he loves and he enjoys, and he has a shared interest with his peers in that group. He's the only kid with autism in the team. There's about 70 members of the team. They've also received some support and encouragement from Fullerton Cares because there's a team member with autism now on the team. But we're very thankful for him to feel a sense of belonging among people of all abilities, and he feels that there. And the kid is fast. I can't keep up with him. I mean, there are kids that are much faster than him, but I cannot keep up with him. A regular person that does not ride a bike frequently already cannot keep up with these little 9, 10, 11-year-old kids. They're serious bike riders.
And I think, was bike riding something that he was doing before the diagnosis of cancer, or was it something that came about during it, after, what?
So he'd always spectated a little bit. I mean, thank goodness he's not watching the show because he'd be really embarrassed right now. But even when he was like potty training, we would like sit and watch the Tour de France because it would go on for a really long time. So we'd have a lot of time to stall and work on that process. But he, when he was in the hospital and receiving treatment, we'd watch the Tour de France. There's always stories about perseverance, endurance, like sticking it out longer than you think you can. And these are things that really resonate. And I think he became even more passionate about following the sport. And so, like anything else that we kind of did after that point, we said, you know what, if you feel good about this, you should probably give it a shot. You should probably see what it's like to do it, and we'll support you. And we've always followed his lead with it. I mean, I don't care if he does it, doesn't do it, wins, loses, it doesn't matter to me. I just want him to be happy. And he's always like, let's go bike racing, Mom, let's go. So we try to support him in his participation in something that he loves.
But see, this is the moment that all autism parents need to hear about. That moment when your kid expresses an interest in something and you have that, oh, well, they're so young.
Or it's so hard just to do regular stuff.
Right.
How am I going to do this?
Right.
Too?
We're already dealing with this and we're dealing with this. And none of us can say that we're dealing with more than what you were dealing with. You were already dealing with autism and you were dealing with cancer. And we're not talking about, cancer, and then we just have a little nip tuck on a mole and we're done. This was full on. There were many trips to the hospital in ambulances and staying and doing chemo and
we did
intensive.
Over 7,000 medical miles in a 4-month period.
Yeah.
I counted at the time, I think it was like over 80 trips to the hospital. 7 days inpatient, the rest outpatient, thank goodness.
Right.
But yeah, it was a lot.
It was a lot.
It was one of the most treatable kinds of cancer, but it was, it was something that required intensive
to be on it. And yet, in the middle of all that, your kid says, I'm interested in something, and you said, let's take it to the next level.
Yeah, I go, okay, I'll email all the bike teams I can find, and we'll find something for you.
And that is amazing.
Thank you.
And it's something where we all need to follow your lead, because a lot of us go, oh, we can't do one more thing. But let's fast forward to, how excited he is and how much that gives him a sense of self-esteem to be with those other kids. And he's got his thing to talk about, which I don't care who you are, on the spectrum, not on the spectrum, when you've got a thing, we know from the studies, it makes you bully-proof. We know that it makes you depression-proof because you got your thing. You got your lane.
Exactly.
You know who you are.
And
you know where your
empowered.
tribe is.
You go, I am a person that can write a book. I am a person that can ride a bike. I'm a person that can do things that are unique to me. And, I only know Royce versus the only kid with autism that I've raised, but for him, that has empowered him unlike anything I've ever seen up until that point.
Amazing.
Yeah.
So, if that doesn't inspire you, I don't know what would. That inspires me. And Sasha, here you are, and you're somebody who clearly has that attitude too, about, let's look at what we can do versus what we can't do. You took my breath away when you introduced yourself, talking about the fact that you have considerable health issues.
Yeah.
I don't understand what it was that you said that you had.
It's factor V Leiden. It's a chronic blood clotting. So if one appears, more will appear. So they won't go away. So it's for the rest of my life. It's like playing Russian roulette every day.
And are there certain things that you have to do to take care of yourself, to be with us longer?
Yeah. I mean, I've lost a numerous amount of weight. I mean, I went from 320 pounds down to 170 to,
Girl!
I know. Featured on the Huffington Post for that one.
Wow.
Yeah.
I think that gets national news.
Yeah.
I
wish.
Yeah.
So
right?
trying to stay alive.
Awesome.
And it's just, you come with these moments in your life, these crossroads, and you can just accept defeat and just sit there and let it take you, or you can just literally say, it's a gift to me. And some people say, well, do you blame God? Do you do this? And I said, no. I say, is it a gift to me to pull whatever weight I have left in me and to give to the world?
There you go. And you're living that by writing books and giving us all stories. I can't imagine, though, so you have a child who's on the autism spectrum?
Yes, Dan, which is based off Dan's World.
Ah, I love that. I hadn't put that together before. And we've got book 1 and book 2 here. I love Dan's World, Dan and the Apple, and Dan and Christmas. Love this. And again, these are available. You can go to sashageorge.com/children to be able to find the children's books, and sashageorge.com just to go and check Sasha out in all her fabulousness. So when your child was diagnosed, did you already know that you had this condition?
Yes, I was attending the Art Institute at the time. I was doing a career change, and literally I couldn't get a job because the demands of an autism child is very, very tedious. Especially, you don't want to put your child in a care of somebody who can't emotionally take the beating.
Right.
The battlefields.
Right.
So I figured, I have all this creative incentive. I'll just utilize it from home and do, both I have a lot of analogies, poeticness. I do artwork. I do sci-fi. I do fiction, vampire novels. So it's just all that insightfulness. I like reaching out to people no matter what I can through my pain that I'm suffering, and it's therapeutic. It really is.
And so I'm just trying to think in terms of timeline. When did you realize that you had this clotting issue? Was it before or after your child was diagnosed?
It was when, right after, like a year after Daniel was born.
Okay, and then at what age did he get diagnosed with autism?
1.
So right around the same time.
So trying to deal with his and mine is a very emotional struggle.
Yeah.
Because you're just like, how can I take care of you when I may not even be able to take care of myself, you know, and what if he's not going to be able to take care of himself?
Yeah.
You know, what can I financially leave him?
Right.
You know, to make sure that he has a stable home and stuff like that.
And so you took the lemons and you made some lemonade.
There we go. I
And
put
now,
my stand up and
right. And now you're taking the lemonade and taking it out to other people.
Yes, like the Flower Friend was based off of Dilly, who does Center Stage magazine, that her daughter is autism and she has seizures.
Wow.
So I watched, she was going to interview me on her show, and she had to cancel because her daughter was having seizures. And she was also having amazing self-doubt of the problems. So that book is about acceptance, autistically accepting. The flower is so ambitious and she breaks. So even though you're broken and you're putting into you're no longer in the pot, but if you're in the vase, you're still beautiful. It doesn't matter.
Love it.
It's an analogy.
I love that one. That's a really great one.
Fabulous. Well, you guys, unfortunately, we're out of time. In fact, we're past time, and we have to end on time so that we can, because we got a webinar, so we're already late.
We got to talk about poop.
We got to talk about the poo. The poo is coming. It's not going to hit the fan at night. In any case, so these two amazing women want you to know about these books. Strike One, which you can get on Amazon.com. Go and get this book for your kiddos. It's fabulous. It's truly wonderful. I just adore it. And then also check out SashaGeorge.com and SashaGeorge.com/children.